Greetings and hello everyone. I'm Muhammad Shafi bin Muhammad Don, a PhD student at the Center for Communication, Teaching and Learning University of Technology, Brunei. I'm presenting on behalf of my co-authors, Dr. Nina Pindavaldes and Dr. Lee Kodwe, who are also my supervisors in UGB. In this opportunity, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to all communities involved in the success of this conference. My topic for today's presentation is Students' Online Self-Directed Learning Practices in a Work-from-Home Setting, a Critical Systematic Review of Literature Sources. So in this presentation, I'll be presenting on the research background, research methodology used in the research findings, the discussion and limitation of the research study, and concluded with future research implication and conclusion. On 11 March 2020, the World Health Organization (WHO) changed the classification of the novel infection COVID-19 from an epidemic to a pandemic. Due to the incredibly contagious nature of this virus, it quickly spread across the world. The COVID-19 crisis affected education adversely across the globe, with classes and assessment being delayed or cancelled due to the lockdown. Most colleges and universities have also had to grapple with the challenges of virtual learning, as many having to rapidly move from face-to-face traditional teaching methods to online or virtual learning methods. Following the postponement of face-to-face teaching for education sectors around the world, educators are advised to provide alternative activities. Throughout the phase of the study, Christenham's methodology 2004 was used to review all the literature related to the research study. Christenham's methodology has three phases, which include planning the review, conducting the review, and reporting the review. In planning the review, three research questions were developed to get the systematic review. The second phase in this research study was conducting the review, and in the second phase itself, there are three steps conducted, which includes developing the search, preliminary researches, and finally selecting the studies for inclusion. In developing the search strategy and preliminary researches, a set of search terms were used to address the research questions. The main search terms used were online learning, virtual learning, COVID-19, undergraduate, curriculum, teaching, and learning. Meanwhile, identified search terms were used for the initial search in major electronic databases, namely Google Scholars, ScienceDirect, Scopus, ResearchGate, Simago, and also Semantic Scholars. After developing the search strategy and doing the preliminary researches, the next step in conducting the review was to filter the relevant studies from the initial pool of 52 articles. This step included two main activities, which is study selection criteria and the process for selecting the studies for inclusion. The research question guided the selection of articles. Articles were selected that explicitly evaluated integrating online or virtual learning and accounting and business studies in university's curriculum. Inclusion and exclusion selection criteria were used to filter those studies that provided direct evidence for the research question. There are four inclusion selection criteria used, and there are two main exclusion criteria used. So here I'm showing the tabulated form of search results after all the selection criteria have been done, and there are 12 research papers selected. Moving on to the findings. The first finding is on criteria used to measure students' engagement in online or virtual learning. Across higher education institutions, there are three areas of measurement that can be targeted when it comes to student engagement. The criteria are cognitive, behavioral, and affective assessment or engagement. But in most of the selected research papers in this research study, cognitive assessment has been the highlight to measure the students' engagement, and most findings stated that high rate of cognitive high assessment are essential in online or virtual learning, which high cognitive engagement is found to be directly proportional to students' autonomy or are more self-directed in learning. Finding number two is about synchronous and asynchronous online classes. In most of the selected research papers, again, students preferred their classes to be synchronous as it enables them to get immediate constructive feedbacks and thus create hope among participants to be better. In addition, some researchers also stated synchronous classes are able to be sustained throughout the period assisted with an easy access social media such as WhatsApp. On the other hand, through some empirical research studies, some students would prefer asynchronous classes due to their personal social economic disparities which prevented them to attend their synchronous classes. Assessment and grading has also been a great debate across the educational institutions. Most educators and researchers are still searching and developing the fair assessment that can be done for every student. The challenges include the possible dishonesty of students in answering the assessment and also the technological issues among educators due to the lack of training. Apart from apart from educational insight, the findings from business and accounting methods may also relate and create another driver on why this research study is very important. COVID-19 has also impacted the business and accounting sectors both in positive and negative ways. Due to COVID-19, work from home settings are implemented majority in the working sectors. This has created a bright opportunity for artificial intelligence to come in and have been put on the test to replace human workers. On the bright side, the trial is considered to be a success in some developed countries like Germany and Japan, as AI has fruitfully benefited the big accounting and business firms. Through the case studies, AI have offered a more better working outcomes than human does. Therefore, on the downside of this AI emergence, this has possibly increases the rate of redundancy of workers in such organization or firms and even may lead to higher unemployment rate in the near future. So moving on to the discussion based on the first research question, COVID-19 has actually affected education institutions positively. As a result, education has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platform. High usage of technologies has also promoted both educators and students to explore and learn how to utilize such gadgets and a valuable study on meeting platforms, which makes connectivity possible anywhere and anytime. Apart from that, researchers have also found that online or virtual teaching and learning enhances the educators and students to be more autonomy. Furthermore, research also suggests that online learning has shown to increase retention of information. Moving on to discussion on research question number two. Students being unprepared for the unexpected online or virtual learning has created some difficulties for them individually. This includes mainly on students' engagement. Students' engagement has played an important role throughout the online or virtual learning in order for the students to understand the course or modules that they have enrolled in. Research studies found that the common interference of students' engagement is their socio-economic disparities, which being at home makes them have more of responsibilities which include chores, and in some cases, some students are sharing room and even gadgets with their siblings, and this has affected their learning engagement. In terms of demographic, some areas where the students live may have low internet connectivity, and this method has found to lower the students' excitement and motivation in synchronous classes, and hence their learning engagement are also affected. And last but not the least, discussion on research question number three. Taking from all the related findings, higher education institutions should rethink the focus and strategy of the future education. Face-to-face teaching and learning are possibly seen to be implemented again mostly to cater the young students, but this does not exclude the university students where face-to-face and online virtual learning may be integrated together, creating a hybrid teaching and learning or so-called blended learning. Along with the current emergence of artificial intelligence, higher education institutions may also consider revising their current modules and syllabi where new syllabus and personal soft skill training should be included, as particularly business and accounting students may need to learn the algorithms involved in doing the simulation mimic the real working scenery. In addition, students learn better by doing, as some research studies found that some universities integrating their study with the usage of accounting software enhanced their students to be more knowledgeable and able to apply their knowledge better in answering the case study examination. Moving on to future research implication, even though some countries are going towards endemic, in fact, the never-ending spread of the pandemic COVID-19 are still out there, so it's never too late to do more research on enhancing the students' engagement in the future. In addition, most of the research studies that have been done are mostly investigating on the cognitive assessment and are neither behavioral nor affectionate assessment. So therefore, these areas should have been investigated on in the future as it may strengthen the findings indicating students' engagement. Future research may also consider synchronous classes as it may become a moderating variable to existing online classes methods. To conclude this presentation, from a researcher's point of view, academic will think of revising its current strategies in delivering knowledge plays a very important role to shape better graduates in the future. As the world is moving towards endemic and of COVID-19, considering of delivering the knowledge in a hybrid form of education or the so-called blended learning is probably much preferable. This is due to the drastic changes in AI development and also aligning the future graduates to be job ready. In a nutshell, COVID-19 should not be a barrier for students and educators to give their fullest in accepting and delivering knowledge respectively through an online or virtual teaching and learning. Thank you.